Okay, so we're doing the RSX fuel assembly, and I'll show you how. I should have started from the beginning, but I'll show you how it goes. So this right here, pretty simple. You just pop the 3 clips out. I just put 3 screwdrivers in each slot and push down. It pops out. You don't need to modify this in any way. It's good to go. Like, you don't have to do anything to this. It's perfectly fine. The other thing you need to remove is this right here goes on here, and this clip right here goes all the way in. You just need to get a little screwdriver and pull it out like that, and then this pulls straight out. So you pull this out. This is this right here. So people screw this up. They always use this as their feed, and this right here, I got my RSX to run perfectly normal, no running out of gas. I can run it down completely low. This should always be your return right here, and it's going to replace this. This is going to feed in here. This is going to have to be bypassed right here, and so is this fuel pressure regulator. Otherwise your fuel pressure is going to be stuck and you're not going to be able to adjust it. And then this right here, you have to cut this right here with a knife. Here, I'll show you. These nylon, yeah, so slice this, but don't slice into the plastic, just slice that, and you're going to remove this part and keep it. This jet right here, it's very tiny. You can barely see it. That has to be opened up to 1/8. When I opened it up to 1/8, it worked perfect on the RSX, absolutely perfect. So you're gonna have to open it up here, and I think it's pretty much good here. I might have stuck the drill bit in this way and in this way, which is a good idea. As long as it's 1/8 all the way through, you'll have no problems. So see, there's a filter on the bottom of this. Now it's finally dripping with gas. So this is basically going to be like the RSX. So this right here is gonna this right here, I'm going to put the other hose on it. I'll show you next. But right here, this is going to be your return, and the return is going to bypass everything. So the return is going to connect to here with the hose and onto here. There's nothing in between. It just goes direct. Bam, it connects right. Where is it at? Oh, my bad. Wrong thing. Okay. Yeah, it's going to connect directly in there. There's your bowl, and that's a float in there, so it doesn't allow the fuel out, lets it in. You can run your car pretty much out of gas. And then I'm going to have to drill in a feed, and the feed's going to go directly to the fuel pump to the feed. Directly to the fuel pump to the feed. You don't have to do anything with the evap stuff. Just this hose is going to be connected to my evap system, but nothing needs to be messed with right here. It's just basically all this junk and hose you see is specifically for basically the original feed line, but I always use this stuff as my return. But yeah, you can see this piece is going to have to be cut off that plastic, and I'll show you how I do everything. But yeah, we're going to have to bypass all this junk right here that can get thrown out. You don't need that. I took all the wires out. You don't have to do this, but inspecting it, I even labeled it, but I inspected everything. Oh yeah, the biggest thing, this is going to have to be swapped out with the RSX because this is the CRV. You just have to remove the float. See, I have the float right here. You keep the original float, but you're going to have to use the RSX resistor right here. This is going to have to be swapped out. I'm not sure. I think I can keep the wires. I have to look at it, but I think this little board down here just needs to be swapped out. I gotta look, but I believe it can just be swapped. Okay, so let me tell you how to do this. So this is the fuel filter right here. You're gonna pop, there's a little clip, you just wedge it in between the plastic and the clip. It's hard to see, and you pop that up and you can pop this out. You can reuse it or you can just buy a new one. And I was gonna say, okay, so in order to get the fuel pump out, there is, okay, you just take this clip off. It just has 3 tabs. You take it off like that, and then you go to this side and you just push the fuel pump and it pops out this way. But in order to get the other fuel pump to work, we're gonna have to cut this piece off, but save it because the wire loom goes through here, so it's a brace for it. So we just need to cut the, basically we just have to make a straight cut across here. You don't even need to cut this off, just a straight cut. And the other thing I was going to say is I've broken these open before. There's a cardboard filter in here. We're not going to use it, but no matter, I washed it out a bunch of times, but no matter how much you clean it, it still reeks of gas because this paper basically is soaked with gasoline and you can't do nothing about it. I mean, if you wanted to drill a hole through it and yank it out, you could, but I don't want to do any more work. Oh yeah, and there's another clip here that's really tricky. Where is it at? Oh yeah, this clip. Okay, you're gonna run into this clip. So this is the normal clip, this is the normal clip, but on this side it's a bit tricky. Let me show you how this one comes off. Where was it at? Oh yeah, okay, here it is. It goes right up there. So let me do this. Okay, so when this clips on right here, I probably have too much light. This little tab right here in the middle needs to be pushed up, and these need to be pinched together. So pinch together, and this little tab in the middle up. And that was the trickiest one I found, but I'm learning as I go. This is actually a lot easier and better than the RSX because it's bigger, there's more room. The RSX was awkward because it kind of like, it went in the tank straight and then it folded. This one just goes in straight, so I like this one, this design so much better. Okay, the modifications are done, and here it is. I don't know if you can see. There we go. There we go. So how you do this is you take the drill bits, these are just some cheap Walmart, and you go from the very smallest, which it doesn't even go through at the smallest. So you go smallest and just keep going up in size until you get to 1/8. And then once you get to 1/8, just keep going. You keep making the hole progressively bigger. If you start out with 1/8, you're just going to go in crooked or destroy the thing. So you want to start off with the smallest to biggest, and then once you get to 1/8, you're going to want to put it in here and make sure this is 1/8 all the way through. And otherwise you'll have a restriction, because if this is smaller than this hole, then you're going with the size of this. This is going to be the smallest area of, or the smallest hole. So it's not going to be 1/8 here if it's smaller. So yeah, put 1/8 in there, clear it out. Make sure you don't go through the other side of the plastic. Make sure you don't go through this side, and you're just gonna push it through, and that's the mod you take care of, and that'll keep you basically stocked for fuel starvation, because it's going to go back into, it's going to shoot back into this pump right here. Wow, I got a bug on there. Yeah, so it's going to get shot into this basket. And this is the other mod you do, like I said, right here. You cut this off, leave this on here because it's going to hold all your wires right here. And I just cut it out like that. There's just a paper filter in here. It's on all Hondas I've checked. So when your fuel pump goes in there, it's just going to look like that. And then you can secure it to this after with whatever you want to use. And that's pretty much it for that part. And then, like I said, I put an R on top of there. That's going to be your return. So this right here is going to feed directly into this with nothing in between. So it's going to go here to here. That's it. And then my fuel feed, this right here looks like a good spot. So if I flip it, okay, let me see. So if I flip it under, you can see where my finger's at. It's gonna, my feed is gonna go in right here, and there's a lot more room than the RSX. This thing's a lot bigger, so there's gonna be a lot more room. And it's just right under the sticker. It might be the Denso sticker. It might be in different spots on different cars, but there's two pieces of plastic, so you can kind of identify where it's gonna go. And so that's it. You're gonna go from the fuel pump to your feed, put it all back together, and you're done.